Hello there everyone, it is TIJ Gaming and welcome back to the Tour de France 2021 playthrough with the Ineos Grenadiers. Today it is time for part 3 of the playthrough and it's a double today. We'll be playing through stages number 3 and 4. Simply put, because they are both flat stages, not really much going on in terms of the general classification. However, there could be a good day for that green jersey, the points classification. Now the first two stages have gone quite well for us, but yesterday's stage was probably the better. We had 4 guys in the top 20. Egan Bernal managed to win the stage. He also took the third class climb. The first of the third class climbs, took both of them technically, if you want to be that technical. But he did take the first of the third class climbs, which gave him an 8-second advantage, an 8-second bonus on the rest of the pack. And he also got a 10-second bonus because we won the final climb, which again will all be beneficial, hopefully, as we come towards the end of the tour. You can also see Adam Yates, Mikhail Kvatkowski and Rowan Dennis also finished all in the top 20. So a good day for the Ineos Grenadiers. And you can see Bernal rose to the top of the standings with Adam Yates just 3 seconds behind. Fougeres in second, and some of the big boys, Fougeres, Philippe and Roglic only 25 seconds behind. And Kvatkowski also in there, only 25 seconds back. It seems that the likes of Geraint Thomas is starting to struggle a little bit, a minute behind the rest, but nothing too dramatic at the moment. I think we've still got time to get into it. And all of our riders in the top 32, it's been a good performance so far. And the best climbers picked up a few points. But you can see in that polka dot jersey, there isn't really too much going on yet. That'll be really decided in the late stage. The points classification as well, we've got 2 of our guys in the top 5. And I think it's going to be Adam Yates who's going to be targeting that points classification. So, we're going to stage number 3 today. 2 fairly flat stages, it's fair to say, in today's episode. So, not much going on in terms of the yellow or the polka dot jersey, but 2 good chances to strengthen a lead in the green jersey, the points classification. It looks fairly murky out there, doesn't it? It doesn't look nice at all as we go on to the third stage today, but I don't think we'll see any rain. I don't think that's something that can particularly happen in this game. Something I want to focus on as we get underway though is that I've noticed in the last episode that you can set certain different targets for some of your riders. So I think we're going to look to try and win the points classification with Adam Yates. That's the only thing I wanted to change, but I think it's quite a nice feature to add that. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know what is going on with the commentator there, talking about 15 kilometres to go, unless he has a crystal ball, unlike us. Now, I don't really know whether there's much point in doing this, but I think we're going to try. It's going to be a struggle. We're going to try and get into the breakaway Kvatkowski today. The only reason I think it's going to be a struggle is because we're so far back in the field to really push ahead of anyone. But Kvatkowski is someone we had a bit of success with last year in game. He won both the green jersey and the polka dot jersey. But I think that naturally this year it's going to be Bernal that probably targets that polka dot jersey because he's a rider that we are going to look to win the general classification with. Last year we buggered it up in stage number 2. It didn't work for him. So we went for it more with Kvatkowski. So I think we're going to just try and see how we go with Kvatkowski today. Everybody else is going to try and stay back in the field. We might have missed our chance to go in this breakaway because we can't seem to get clear anyone. Now, I might have gone with this with Adam Yates today because, again, like Kvatkowski, he's in good nick for this stage, he's in good condition. But unfortunately, he's got the green jersey. I know that sounds silly because it's a great accolade to have such early on. But it's a bit of a pain in that, naturally, because he's got that green jersey, I think people are going to follow him. So we'll go with Kvatkowski. We'll see how we go. Kvatkowski is currently the man with the yellow jersey as things stand, but I think the breakaway isn't going to keep it a course for the duration of the day. But I just thought we'd make things interesting, get one of our riders in the breakaway. I don't think it's going to harm things too much, to be honest. But again, I don't see any harm of being in there. But I don't think there's going to be too much of a highlight until we get to the first climb, and that's around about halfway into the stage. Well, I think we are the fastest man in this breakaway. I don't think there's any sort of question about that on a climb. So we're going to try and take the sole point here, and it looks like we're going to do it fairly easily. The 2 guys behind have lost a little bit of ground, so there's no point pushing too much here. Take a little bit of our red feed just to be a bit more comfortable there. And we will get a new feed after we come to the bottom here, so we might as well just slow it down. You can see the guys behind are quite a way back. Those guys not particularly looking for any sort of mounting points. They're not going to be successful in that. So we can just slow down with comfort that we know we're going to take this sole point. Not that it's going to mean too much. Again, I can't see Kwiatkowski going for this mountains classification this year. We certainly don't need to throw the bike over the line. But again, it's a point. It's nice, I guess. There's not too much harm in it. And we'll just let the two guys catch up. And then the next objective is to get to the sprint and see if we can take full points there. So we're not going to worry too much about the guys at the front for this intermediate sprint, because while it would be great for Kwiatkowski to take 20 points, there are equally a quite important 13 points up for grabs in the peloton. So we're going to try and maintain our green jersey with Adam Yates and go for this. I can't really remember who's around us in this classification, to be honest, who's the favourites for this jersey. But you can see we've got Bernal just ahead of us with that yellow jersey. But an important haul of points to potentially be taken here. That's why we're not focusing on the front runners and rather on this group. There's still 2.5 kilometres to go. We just want to stay nicely in this group, not use too much of our energy, although we shouldn't have too much of a problem, I don't think. Kwiatkowski looks like he's going to finish third in that sprint, but again, there's no issue, really. I think Kwiatkowski should still catch up for that. And as you can see, a few of the guys pacing themselves for this upcoming sprint. Just all about getting the time right, and we've gone a little bit early. This is a good pace we're setting here. So tricky, being the front runner to know who's coming up behind you. A little bit of blocking tactics there behind Christoph. And we have taken fourth in the intermediate sprint. That's a very good result for us there. Any of our other guys gone for it? I don't think they have, but good stuff from there from Yates. Again, fourth, that's the maximum he could have really done there. There's no issue with that. None of our other guys taken any points, so no issue there. I'm just going to let the following group catch up. And probably go back to Kwiatkowski for the second climb. So 2 kilometres away from the second climb. You can see it's not too taxing this. It's only a third class climb. We're going to just sneak behind Burgart, try and regain some of our energy. And just stick at a stable pace. And hopefully try and put some leg work in towards the end. Probably try and get past them now. Again, I don't think they're going to be too bothered about this. They might go for it, they might not. But I'd rather give it the benefit of the doubt. Put a bit of pace in ourselves and try and go for this. But they are going to attack. They're going to try and go for it. I think against us, that's not going to be too much avail. But I tell you what, Burkhardt is putting a good pace in. And we are going to get the sole points here. So good stuff there. And now we just want to make sure that we regain all our energy. Seems silly to exert too much. But equally, it is another flat stage tomorrow. So it's not going to hurt too much for Kwiatkowski. And he'll probably sit in the peloton again tomorrow to regain that energy before a time trial. And again, another flat stage in stage number 6. So this isn't going to be too much of a risk, really. A potentially interesting dynamic as we come to the end of this stage. That there are a few bends before the final sprint here. And that is a possibility, therefore, for the peloton to get strung out a little bit. So something interesting to bear in mind. As you can see, there's 5k's to go before that sprint. Just working our way down the hill now. Might as well take advantage of a little bit of aerodynamic position. And 50 points in play here, so really, really big points up for grabs. And we're going to give everybody their blue gel. Obviously, we're in control of Adam Yates, so there's no problem there. And we'll just don't work with anyone. Protect our leaders. Simple as. Just 5 more kilometres. And now that's now 4. We'll put a bit of pace in now. Before we take the last of our blue feed with, I was going to say Kwiatkowski then, with Adam Yates. And you can see there are quite a few riders doing a little bit of work. And we'll just try and be as well balanced for this as we possibly can. Again, another little bit of pace before we take our last feed. We cannot take a feed above this pace, you see. That's what the problem is sometimes. And we're well placed. With a kilometre to go, let's go for it. Let's see if we can win another stage with Adam Yates. It might not be enough, but we're going to power for it to the line with Degan Cold. We might not have enough puff for this. Come on, Yates. Come on, Yates. It's not quite going to be enough. We'll throw our bike over the line. And we were about 6th or 7th there. So not perfect. You're not going to win them all, I guess. But still, a good haul of points for the sprint there. But you're not going to win them all at the end of the day. We'll see where we ended up after the podiums, which I think we'll just skip over. Not really too fussed about those. But a good stage there. Took both of the points in the climbs. Good haul of points for the sprints as well. So, can't really complain too much. We have lost the green jersey to Van der Poel, I've just noticed. But there will be opportunities to get that back. You can see Van der Poel did win the stage. We ended up 6th. A lot of our guys are a lot further back there, but you can see there was absolutely no distance between anybody, really, towards the end there, apart from the few guys at the back you can see, but we're not really focused on those. Bernal retains his yellow jersey. You can see that Van der Poel has gained. Adam Yates has dropped down 2nd, but it's nothing too extreme at this point. And we'll absolutely take that. So 4th stage time then. Pretty much a mirror of this one. Fairly flat. I think, again, there are 2 4th class climbs and 2 sprints. Yeah, you can see. Fairly similar to the previous stage. So 29th of June. Obviously the day after the previous. And, yeah, not really too much going on. But good stuff so far in the green classification. A few points in the mountain classifications. It's just all about keeping it cool today. Staying in the peloton. And crucially, not making any silly mistakes. So starting with our yellow jersey man today, Egan Bernal. And I don't think we're going to put a rider in the breakaway today. I think this is just going to be a very, very short stage. Focus on the 2 sprints. Unfortunately, Adam Yates starts this one in quite poor condition. So we will probably look to protect him. Castro Viejo can protect Yates. And Dennis can look to protect Bernal. But Ganner, I think we can just persist him without limits. Surprised that he is the man that protects Bernal, given that, you know, he's one of the good ones in the team himself and might come into play later on in this tour. But we went for it in the last stage. But ultimately, I think today we'll just sit back in the peloton and not do anything stupid. And I think that should be fairly easy even for us to complete. Well, we've tried to flirt a little bit here with breaking up the pack before this sprint. But it might maybe be to no avail, I'm not sure. Because we haven't got much red energy left. But I just wanted to just test something, really. A new tactic, possibly, before we get up to this sprint. But as I said, it might be to no avail. We've only got Adam Yates in this group, so this might be a mistake, I don't know. But not going to go too early here. Trouble is we've been caught napping. We've been caught napping there. That was quite poor, really. That's shocking. In fact, to be honest, that was no end of a waste of time and a complete waste of energy just to get 3 points out of there with an already tired Adam Yates. That's disappointing. Well, we'll learn from that, not to go with that strategy ever again. So no surprises today. Just a sprint finish, as the peloton has caught up to the breakaway. And it's fair to say Adam Yates is a bit tired. We're going to go for this, try and get ourselves some points just to stay in the green jersey classification. But it's going to be tough. It is going to be tough. We're quite a way back as well here. We need to improve our position quite drastically. Try and get on that inside rail. But with that, of course, we are using energy that really we don't want to be using. But needs must. Get this guy out of the way. We might be too far away here. I think we are going to exert too much energy trying to get close, unfortunately. I'll get everybody else to take their gel at this point. I'll just try and get the guys to prepare the sprint for Yates. But he's going to be tough from this far back, it's fair to say. It really is. Just use all of our blue gel. And we're a little bit further up now. But we're going to be... I think we're going to start with too much of a gap to the front runners. So it might be a write-off for Yates today. And you have to debate whether there is somebody else we can go for it with. There's Kavakovsky up there, maybe. And he is. He's absolutely up there. So Adam Yates might have to sit back and take a back seat today. We might have a new runner who can go for this. But we know Kavakovsky is good at the sprints. We've seen that before. And we've got just over a kilometre to go. And it's just when to pull the pin. And I think that time is now. We'll try and go just before the corner. A little bit like they're doing the F1 with the safety car. And Kavakovsky is going to go absolutely rapid for this. We don't know who's behind us. And it looks like Kavakovsky is going to win himself the stage. Absolutely fantastic stuff there. You can't argue with that at all. And all of our riders seem to finish in that main peloton, which is good news. So apart from that misdemeanor in the last stage, we have won 3 out of the 4 stages. And slightly disappointing with the frame rate, you have to say, at the end of the races. I don't know what's going on there, and I have to say I don't remember that being a thing last year. But Kwiatkowski takes the stage victory. Good stuff from us there. And some nice points for Kwiatkowski. And, you know, if Adam Yates maybe hasn't got what it takes, I know he's done a lot of work in the first 3 stages. But equally, it's nice to have 2 apples in there, if you like, you know. You can't just have one rider going for it. The more options you've got, the better. And you can see Adam Yates finished quite a way back in the end, so didn't get any sort of points really for the points classification. But a big dollop of 50 for Kwiatkowski, only 3 for Adam Yates. But in terms of the general classification, very little changes. Obviously, Kwiatkowski inflates himself into 4th with that time bonus at the end of the stage. But for the points classification, you can see that Kwiatkowski, just with getting 50 points there, has put himself from 11th into 2nd with 76 points. 22 behind Van der Poel. And again, it's just nice to have 2 guys in there in 2nd and 3rd, which gives ourselves some good potential for differing strategy. You can see the best climber classification just hasn't got off to a start at all yet. But you know what? Good start for us. Again, it's a strange start to the Tour de France this year. Certainly compared to last year, where there was that mountainous stage in stage 2, which really rocketed the order. But this time, the general classification is pretty stable until we come up to quite a tough set of stages in stage number 7, 8 and 9 before that rest day. And you can see that is really where the general classification is going to be changed. But again, in tomorrow's episode, which will be at the same time at 1 PM, we'll have the next 2 stages, which firstly is a time trial, followed by another flat stage. And then on Tuesday, we'll have stage number 7. Thursday, stage number 8. And then on Saturday, stage number 9. That is going to be an absolute whopper of a stage. But if you've enjoyed this, folks, make sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Comment your thoughts. Well, any tips and tricks are also always beneficial. And remember, of course, also to subscribe for regular Tour de France content, certainly over the next couple of weeks. Thank you for your company today, folks. I have been TIJ Gaming, and until the next time, I will see you guys later. Goodbye for now.